Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're pulling back the curtain on a role that's just critical to how our world gets built, the architectural project manager.
Right. And we're using a really interesting way in looking at key interview questions for this job based on a source from Interview Prep, April 30, 2025.
It's a great angle, isn't it? Because it shows what employers really care about, what they're testing for.
Exactly. It cuts right to the chase.
So our mission is to take these questions, these insights, and kind of unpack them, get to the core of what an architectural project manager actually does day to day.
Yeah. Understand the pressures, the skills, make it real for you, the listener.
Whether you're thinking about this career, maybe you work with APMs, or you're just curious how, complex buildings actually happen.
So, okay, the basics first. What is this role, fundamentally? The source says it's seeing a project through from conception to completion.
Right, conception to completion. That's huge. It signals it's way more than just the drawings.
Oh, absolutely. It's this mix, isn't it? Creativity, sure, but also deep technical know-how and leadership, big time.
Yeah, leadership keeps coming up. And the source mentions this delicate balance
Balancing the client's big dream, their vision.
against the hard realities, right?
Yeah.
Construction, engineering limits, codes.
And the budget. Let's not forget the budget.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
The questions hammer that home. Efficiency, budget management, getting the resources right, it's not optional.
It's fundamental. The goal is delivering successful projects. That means managing the process, all the different people, stakeholders, and crucially, the money,
They're the linchpin, making sure it all comes together.
pretty much.
Okay, so let's dive into that first big chunk, the project lifecycle itself, and maybe more importantly, how they handle, all the chaos,
Yeah.
the unpredictable stuff.
Right. Planning is step one, obviously. The source touches on the whole journey, client ideas to sketches, then detailed design.
Which includes tons of code checking, making sure it's actually legal and buildable.
Yeah, can't skip that. And then coordinating everyone, engineers, consultants, the main contractor, suppliers.
And being there, right. Site visits, boots on the ground, seeing it happen.
All the way through construction, inspections, the final handover. It's a marathon of coordination.
Okay, now for the really juicy part. Because projects never go exactly to plan, do they? How do they handle changes midstream?
Well, you can't just wave them through. The source is clear. First, assess the impact. What does this change do to the schedule, the cost, the structure?
So you have to investigate first.
Definitely. Talk to everyone involved to understand the request, the knock-on effects. Communication is massive here.
Like being a detective and a diplomat rolled into one.
Kind of, yeah. You gather info, figure out what's essential versus just nice to have, keeping the main goals in sight, and then you update everything meticulously.
It's managed flexibility, not just chaos.
Exactly. Informed flexibility.
The source gives examples like timeline twists due to unexpected problems. A supplier going bankrupt was one mentioned.
Ouch. Yeah, ouch is right. That's where an APM really shows their value, isn't it? It demands quick thinking, decisive action under pressure.
So first step is communicate the delay. Tell everyone what's happened,
Immediately. Explain why. Then you pivot. Find alternatives. Fast.
which means vetting new suppliers, quality, cost, speed, minimizing that ripple effect.
Right, and maybe you resequence things. Can we push ahead on this part while we fix the supplier issue over there? It's constant dynamic problem solving.
So what if, even with all that, you start missing milestones? The source asks about that too.
First, find the root cause. Always. Why did we miss it? Resources, site issue, bad communication. Gotta dig in.
Then prioritize. Figure out which delays hurt the most.
Yes. And then transparency. Tell the team, tell the stakeholders. No hiding. Here's the problem, here's why.
And then work together on a plan.
Exactly. Develop an action plan collaboratively. Reallocate resources. Adjust the...
Another surprise mentioned was finding, unstable soil during construction. Unexpected site conditions.
Oh, the ground beneath your feet. Yeah, that happens. That's when you lean hard on specialists. Bring in the geotechnical engineers, pronto.
Okay.
They assess it. You work with them on the fix, maybe reinforcing foundations, like the example hinted. It takes quick decisions, adaptability, and trusting other experts.
It really shows this job isn't just about spreadsheets and drawings, is it? You're wrestling with the real physical world.
Absolutely. And you can't navigate that world without mastering the people side. Which brings us to the next big piece, the people puzzle.
Right. The source calls it a balancing act.
Yeah.
And communication. It just keeps coming up as the absolute key.
Yep.
between clients, contractors, the team.
It's the glue, truly. And the source mentions specific methods, regular meetings, just essential for keeping everyone aligned.
Using project management tools too, right?
Uh-huh.
Like Asana, Trello, keeping track of who's doing what.
hmm Clear documentation helps avoid confusion. An open door policy builds trust, gets issues raised earlier.
And I like the point about tailoring communication. You don't talk to an engineer the same way you talk to a client, right?
Exactly. You need to speak multiple languages, professionally speaking.
Thinking about the client again, keeping their vision on track. That's an ongoing thing.
It starts with listening, really listening up front, understanding their needs, their lifestyle, their taste.
Showing them sketches, models early and often, getting that feedback loop going.
And crucially, managing expectations. Being honest from the start about budget, about what's feasible. You can't just nod along to impossible demands.
Better to address it early, offer alternatives.
Always. Avoids major pain later.
Okay, what about the team itself? These are diverse, multidisciplinary teams, architects, engineers, designers, contractors. Q7 covers this. How do you manage that?
It's like conducting an orchestra. You need clear goals, clear deadlines, clear responsibilities for everyone. Regular coordination meetings are vital.
Making sure everyone knows how their piece fits the whole puzzle.
Yeah, and creating a space where people feel okay speaking up, respecting different expert views, even when they disagree.
Fostering that open dialogue.
Definitely. And tools like AutoCAD or Microsoft Project, they're not just for design or lists, they're coordination tools, tracking progress across different fields, catching clashes early.
Speaking of clashes, disagreements are bound to happen with so many experts involved. Q8 asks about conflict resolution.
Gotta nip it in the bud. Address issues right away, don't let them simmer. Encourage people to talk it out.
Be the mediator. Figure out the real issue.
Pretty much. Stay objective, stay professional, try to find a solution together. But the source also says sometimes the PM has to make the call. If consensus isn't happening, you decide based on the project's best interest.
Okay. So how do you keep this diverse team pulling together? Keep them motivated, especially when things get tough? Q14.
Clear communication. Again, everyone needs to know the big picture goals and their specific part in it. Regular progress updates help too.
Makes people feel connected, see their impact.
Right. And recognition matters. A simple well done in a meeting or specific positive feedback privately, it goes a long way.
Building that collaborative spirit.
Yes, making it feel like a team effort and giving people chances to grow, stretch their skills that keeps them engaged, invested.
And it's not just the internal folks. They're all the external contractors and suppliers. Q22 talks about managing them, like on a big office building project.
Oh yeah, that's huge coordination, making sure everyone external understands the goals, the timeline, the quality standards.
Setting up systems to track their progress.
Absolutely. And dealing with issues fast, like those material delivery delays mentioned. You need constant communication and you need backup plans ready, maybe resequence tasks, find alternative suppliers. It's constant vigilance.
Okay, that covers the complex web of people.
Yeah.
Let's shift to the nuts and bolts. Resources, quality, safety, staying up to date.
Budget mastery, can't say enough. It's all over the source. Starts with really detailed planning, solid cost estimates.
But it's not set it and forget it, is it?
Yeah.
You have to track spending constantly.
Relentlessly, against the plan. And risk management is key for budgets having that contingency fund for the surprises.
Because surprises will happen.
Guaranteed. The source even asks about managing a project on a super tight budget.
That sounds stressful.
It is, but it forces creativity, finding cheaper but still good materials. Sharpening those negotiation skills, watching every single penny, it proves tight budgets demand smarter management, not just giving up.
Procurement is linked to that, right? Getting the materials and services. Q13 goes into detail.
Yep, making super detailed lists of everything needed.
Finding suppliers, checking not just price, but quality, reliability. Can they deliver on time?
Negotiating terms, placing accurate orders, clear communication about deliveries, tracking materials and costs. It's a whole process in itself.
Then there's quality. Q17 calls the PM the gatekeeper of quality.
Yeah.
How does that work in practice?
It starts early. Set clear standards and specs in the plans, then regular checks, not just at the end, but all the way through.
Catching problems early before they get bigger or hidden.
Exactly. Address issues immediately. Use feedback from the site team, the client. And Tech House BIM can flag design clashes that would hurt quality later.
So it's about building a quality culture, too.
Absolutely. Shared responsibility.
And safety, obviously crucial. Q27 hits on prioritizing safety.
Non-negotiable. Starts with knowing the codes, the regulations inside out. local, maybe international. And safety isn't an add-on. It's designed in from the start, working with engineers, the construction team.
Regular site inspections are for safety checks too, not just progress.
Oh, definitely. Identifying hazards, plus ongoing safety training for everyone on site. Build that awareness.
Q18 brings up that classic architecture challenge, balancing aesthetics and function. The example was modern stuff in historic buildings.
Right. That tension is always there. The PM sits right in the middle of it. It takes careful planning, intense coordination, making sure the architect's beautiful idea actually works safely and efficiently, thanks to the engineers and builders.
It's creative problem solving applied to buildings.
Pres-
And to do all this well, you have to stay current, don't you? Q9 and Q19 talk about staying updated. Why is that so vital?
For innovation, efficiency, just getting the best results, the field changes fast.
So how do they do it? Reading industry mags like Architectural Digest, Arch Daily.
Yep, attending seminars, webinars, AIA events are good for that. Catching up on codes, new materials, techniques.
Using online platforms too, LinkedIn, Twitter, following industry news.
Sure, and continuous learning, formal courses maybe, or just dedicating time to master the software. The source lists AutoCAD, Revit, SketchUp, ArchiCAD, project tools like Microsoft Project, Asana.
And as much as BIM and VR. Those tools keep evolving, changing how projects are even managed.
Absolutely. Staying current on tech directly impacts your effectiveness.
Finally, Q16 highlights sustainability. Green design. It's not just a trend anymore, is it?
No, it's becoming integral, thinking about it from the start. Solar panels, rainwater harvesting, efficient insulation.
Using local materials, maximizing natural light and ventilation.
Yeah, considering the environmental footprint across the whole project, concept to construction, the example of designing homes to use less artificial heating cooling shows it's about core design thinking.
And just to round it off, Q30 touches on versatility, managing different types of projects, residential, commercial.
Right. Each sector has unique challenges, rules, different stakeholder needs, requires adaptability.
Wow, okay. That really paints a picture, doesn't it? The sheer complexity, the breadth of this role.
It really does. We've seen it's about navigating that whole project lifecycle, handling the unexpected, being a master communicator, managing diverse people.
Diligently handling resources, budgets, procurement, ensuring quality and safety above all.
And driving innovation, staying current, thinking sustainably. It's a lot.
It's incredibly demanding. But understanding these pieces, straight from what employers look for, is so valuable. Whether you want the job, work with someone who has it, or just wanted to see behind the curtain,
Yeah.
you get a clearer picture now.
Yeah, you see the hidden structure behind the physical structure, the decisions, the coordination.
It's a vital role, often unseen by most people.
Very true.
So here's a final thought. Based on everything we've discussed, that constant juggling act, client vision, budget, time, safety, creativity. Given how central the project manager is to navigating all that, how do their daily decisions, their influence, ultimately shape the actual buildings and spaces we all use? What kind of responsibility does that place on them, managing these architectural visions into reality?
That's a really powerful question to leave people with.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.